Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I was kind of curious about these WORKPRO electrician shears. Not only did they look very similar, in color and in blade design to the Knipex, but they were about 13 bucks. For 10 bucks more you can get into the Knipex, and these are the ones without the strippers on them. And then for 10 bucks more than the Knipex you can get into the C.Jet tool, and these have the stripper and dual crimper there, similar blade as well. But I really like the way these C.Jets fit in the hand. Obviously you can go inside for more precision, but then as you use these kinds of shears, you're often running that into your palm so you can get the full effort against whatever you're trying to cut. Let's take a closer look. First of all, they kind of surprised me as far as the price. I mean, even for a regular pair of scissors, they seemed reasonable. And to have a stripper. So I thought I'd take them for a little test just to kind of see how they're performing. This is just some standard 12 gauge wire. I can snip through this all day long. One thing that I noticed as I was cutting is they really felt solid. If I hold them like this, I can't break through. Once I go to the standard kind of electrician shears grip, where I'm rolling it around, then I can snip through things pretty easily. If I wanted to cut Romex, that's a bit of a challenge, but it can be done. And this is 12 gauge here, triple. That's hot, neutral, and ground. Let me go in a little further. I can snap right through that. I am moving to an open hand all the way around, not only for more leverage, but you can get pinched. And I've done that a few times, gotten pinched, cutting this stuff. How does that compare? Well, here's the C.Jet. Drop that in. The C.Jet's a little snappier, plenty good for cutting that. Here is the Knipex. If I drop that in, a lot of times using this more for coax or for other things. Nice clean cut. So they all work well there. Now, one thing to notice is the steel on these seems incredibly hard. I was testing the steel, and you can see the scratches here. I was using my I don't know how you say that, Serbosan testers. So this is HRC 65 right here. This is really hard. Obviously, I can cut in no problem, scratching up the Knipex and the C.Jet, but I come in here to the WORKPRO. Okay, you see that? That's more of a just working on the finish. It really doesn't dig in. It's kind of surprising. At 65. Compare this to that's actually pretty rough now. And the C.Jet here, no problem scratching that. So even if I go down to the 60 here on these WORKPROs, check it out. Whoops, get away from that little bit of, not much of anything there. These are really hard. So I'd say they're 60 to 65 Rockwell. That's incredible. So they do seem to have, the cutting strength. And also I noticed that because as I was looking at the blades after I was doing a bunch of cutting, and I really didn't see if I can get that to focus there, really didn't see any marking on it. However, I have used these more, but you can see these C.Jets are starting to get a little bit dinged up. And the Knipex. You can see that. There's a little wear on the blades. See that there? they're softer material. I'm getting good closure with all of them. I read the reviews on these on Amazon. Some people said that they ran into trouble after a while. Maybe they were out of alignment. One thing I noticed, I tried to pop this thing out. I was playing around with different picks and things, trying to get this centerpiece out if I needed to drill it. Whereas like C.Jet, they just have these caps. Same with the Knipex. And you can just pop those out. So if you need to go in and do a little bit of adjustment to that pivot, you can. It's right there. Knipex, they don't have an indicator of where it has to line up. They just pop right in. But but both of these, you can see have the hole, so it's pretty easy to just go right in there with some sort of a pick and pop those out. And once they're out, you have access to the pivot. But anyway, so what do I think? Well, from the amount I've used them, as far as the stripping, let's see if I can, kind of cut. I'll go into a strip here, right there. Let's see, did I cut through it? Oops, there's that. That's 12. Should work just fine. Yeah, see, no problem. If I cut it a little shorter, it might be easier to see right there, just for purposes of testing that. See how easy that strips. I'm impressed. Oh, by the way, yes, there is a USA marking on these. It's this way right here. It was actually these shears here. By the way, this is a Bison Holster LLC out of LA. You can have custom holsters. I had Bison make me one for my Klein snips, and somebody pointed out, look really close along the bottom. Yep, USA right there. But anyway, that's where these live. Love this thing. I'll put a link for his company below. But anyway, as far as these WORKPROs, are they worth the 12, 13 bucks? Yeah, absolutely. If you don't have anything like this, it's nice to move forward and go with the kind of the Knipex brand or even the C.Jet. But unless you're a professional electrician, these just work great. And I think they are way easier to use than the traditional older snips with older stripping. These are cute. These are they're classic, but we're so far beyond that. And then the super hard metal, I imagine if you tried to cut into anything steel, you might break the blade, or you certainly would chip it. That's the problem with high Rockwell hardness. It can shatter or snap or crack. But that's for copper, aluminum, softer materials. You're probably going to have a high performance and low wear for quite a while on these. I don't know if all of them. I mean, that might be for a $13 electrician snip, getting a nice kind of a steel hardening. I don't know if that's for all of them, but that's certainly how these came out of the factory. So I'm impressed with that. Basically hardening the steel to a particular level is kind of an art. So sometimes it's all over the place. But anyway, there they are. The WORKPRO electrician shears with a stripper and a crimper. With that, Doc out.